Friday, Monday. I have Jim Buser in the house from High Octane Nutrition. We're going to have some fun, Jim, aren't we?
Yes.
And you brought lots of props here. I hope it's not going to be a test for me. But it is March 4th, one of the most positive days on the calendar. You know why, Jim?
No, I don't.
Because we're marching forward. We're moving forward. Yeah, okay. How many of you have heard that joke from me? It's really good. But talking about the, speaking of a calendar, why don't we see what events are coming up? Okay, so on this positive day on the calendar, if you like fish, the Knights of Columbus is having their fish fry. I think it's the next 5 weeks, but that is taking place today. You can support the awesome organization, the Knights of Columbus. It's at the Catholic Church, so get some great fish and support a fantastic nonprofit. And then tomorrow, Farmers Market is back. It only happens every other week in the winter. So you could still go out and get some fresh fruits and veggies, and it's entertainment as well. But you've got some homemade soups and things like that. So you can come on out to the Farmers Market this weekend. It'll be Saturday. I believe it goes until 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And then next week, the Montrose Economic Development Corporation, their annual meeting is one of the biggest networking and professional events that happens in Montrose. And that is happening on the 10th. They have a state demographer that comes out. Do you know what the state demographer does?
Not really.
Not many people do, but guess what, Jim? We're going to find out. The state demographer handles anything that has to do with the demographics and population in the state of Colorado. So that's going to be great to hear from her. And yesterday, we announced the 2022 Women of Distinction finalists. So we are ready to celebrate and honor these women at a red carpet event, and that is happening on March 25th. So those are all the events that are happening here in Montrose in the next couple of weeks. Well, actually, there's so much more, but that's all we can fit before we start talking to Jim. But we could not bring this show to you every single week without the support of Alpine Bank, River Valley Family Health Centers, the Real Estate Store, and Elevate Internet. Thank you so much to our sponsors and partners and underwriters. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and then we're going to jump right into it with Jim from High Octane Nutrition. At River Valley Healthcare Centers, we believe everyone deserves access to quality care. At our locations, you will find friendly staff and professional medical providers who are committed to helping you achieve optimal health. Our goal is to meet the needs of our community by eliminating barriers to patients receiving quality medical, dental, and mental health care, as well as convenient access to a pharmacy. We're accepting new patients, so contact us today, regardless of your insurance and income status.
In Colorado, we come prepared to weather any storm, to choose to see obstacles as challenges that make us stronger and better. When things get hard, we face them, dig in, and rise above. That's why Alpine Bank is proud to call Colorado home. After all, everything we need is right here. You are Colorado, so are we.
Okay, and we are back in the studios on this Friday. Jim, I'm just excited to sit here and talk to you.
Thanks.
You're not as excited. That's okay. We're going to get you there. But High Octane Nutrition, and it's nutrition and wellness?
Nutrition and health.
Nutrition and health. Okay. So you are in your 5th year of business. You and your lovely wife, Virginia, run that store, and we're in year 5.
That's correct.
So you are rolling in a dough, entrepreneurship was easy, and you're just darn excited about where you're going, right?
Exactly, yeah.
No, but so High Octane, because I've been in your location, you have some of everything. And if I had to define some of the big points, it's a retail location.
Yes.
You offer tanning, massage therapy.
Right.
Foot soak work, something I know
it's called the Ionic Detox Foot Bath.
Okay. A smoothie and a coffee shop as well, and CBD lines. Did I hit on all the points? Did I miss anything?
You missed the main one, the vitamins and supplements.
Oh. This is why we have you here, Jim. Okay, so, and vitamins and supplements. Oh my goodness, does your head spin every day?
Yeah, I like to think of our store as a department store, and it's mostly healthy stuff. Tanning would be debatable as to whether it's healthy or not. Some people would say it is, and some people would say it isn't.
Well, I've been using your beds for 5 years. I'm kidding.
Yeah, I think that we've had a lot of success with some of our products and services. And they kind of all tie in together in one way or another. So we can use the different departments to help us sell in other areas as well. So someone comes in that wants to tan, maybe they buy a smoothie when they're done. Someone comes in for supplements and they find out that we have massage therapy. So there's a lot of different tie-ins that can help customers come in. It makes it difficult to determine who the target market
Yes.
is because
You have so many.
so many. Yeah, it's pretty much, you look at tanning. We did a little study on our tanning. We have all of these forms that were filled out by people, and I wanted to know, well, what's our demographic? Speaking of demographics, what's our demographic on tanning? And I thought, well, okay, there's going to be more women than men. That was a given, and that was true.
Okay.
But if we just
if it wasn't true, I was going to be surprised.
if we just look at the women, I thought, okay, which age group would be the one that you would expect to see the most people in? And I thought, well, probably 40s and 50s.
Oh,
Well, it's the same for every decade group.
really?
Yeah, you have the same number of people in every age group. So tanning isn't just limited to older people. It can also be a lot of younger people as well. And they have different reasons for coming in to tan. So, most of the people come in because they're going on vacation and they want to get a start on their tan. So they'll come in and come in for a 15-minute session 3 times a week, let's say, so that they're a little bit darker before they go to the beach.
So the lucky people that get to go on vacation, because entrepreneurs like you and I, aren't really going on vacation a lot, are we?
24/7.
Exactly, exactly. So I do have to ask this because I know my husband has tanned with you. How many men are coming in to tan?
Well, I don't know what the number is, but we do have certain men, and some men are regulars. They're coming in. They sign up for their packages once a month, and they come in and use the services. And I would say probably half the men that come in are there with their wives. So they're doing it as a couple.
Yeah.
Tanning is kind of interesting because I'd say it's semi-seasonal. So like this time of year is our big time of the year for tanning because everybody's going on vacation.
Oh, I see.
And so they're coming in these winter months to get tan. And then in the late fall and winter, it's because they can't get outside and be in the sun, so they'll come in to tan.
Right.
So in the summer months, it dips a little bit, but we still have our regulars, and we'll have a person coming in to Montrose from the airport that will want to come and get a tan.
Oh.
And so they'll give us a call, So that also is true of a lot of our other products and services. We've had several people say, I'm just here in town visiting, but I heard that I can tan, or I can, or I couldn't bring my protein powder with me, and I need some protein powder. So we do get some business from the airport, and with the airport growing as big as it is, I think we might even see more.
Well, and so your location, you guys are Oxbow, correct?
Oxbow Drive.
South of town.
Yes.
And your Anytime Fitness is right above you.
Yes.
What else is over there?
Edward
Gypsy Bell,
Jones.
Edward Jones. Okay. So that's been your location for 5 years, and you're So you're getting people from the airport who are maybe going to Telluride, who are, continuing to head south. So you get a lot of walk-in traffic?
We do get a lot of walk-in traffic. We don't get walk-in traffic like we would if we were on Main Street, you
Right.
know. But there are people that are coming to Edward Jones or to Gypsy Bell or to Rio Bravo Restaurant or something like
Yeah,
that,
that's over there
who
as
are
well.
just happen to walk by and see us, and they say, that looks like an interesting store, and they come in. We also get business from Telluride because, for example, there really aren't any tanning beds in Telluride. So we do get people are visiting Montrose, and they come up from Telluride to get a tan.
Okay. So they go to City Market, grab some
City Market or
groceries, go
Walmart,
tan. And
They're making a trip of it, yeah.
I'm sure. So, because you have so many different items, your demographics are eclectic. So
Yeah.
we were talking about some of the products if I'm trying to work out and buff up. This one, first of all, what is this called?
This is a company called Bucked Up, and we're one of the biggest sellers of Bucked Up products on the Western Slope. This is a company that when we bought the store back in 2018, they sent us some samples, and so we decided to try them out, and we've been selling it ever since. This particular product is what they call a pre-workout.
Okay.
A lot of people have never heard pre-workout before, but what it does is it gives you energy and endurance, and it gets blood flowing to your muscles. So you take it before you go in to do your workout, and then you get a better workout. You get better results because you're getting more. If you're lifting, you're getting more pumps. If you're on the treadmill, you can go longer.
Interesting.
This particular one is called BAMF, and I won't tell you what that means. You can figure that out for yourself. This particular one is interesting because it has what they call nootropics in it. Nootropics is supplements that help your brain function.
Okay.
So this gives you more clarity and focus during your workout. So you're doing more of the right things. This company also makes a lot of other products. Anything in fitness related. They also make, they have a clothing line that's very popular.
And you have a few pieces in your retail store.
Right.
Okay.
One of the most popular ones says God, Guns, and Gains on it.
Only in Colorado, right?
That's why it's popular. It's got a angel's wings and a AK-47, and
You didn't bring me one of those, Jim? Come on. I would have worn it on the show.
But they also make protein powders. Protein powders are good for getting the proteins into your system.
Okay.
The thing about supplements that I always like to say is that you should be getting most of your vitamins and minerals and things like that from the food that you eat. These are called supplements for a reason.
You're
supplementing your regular diet.
Yes.
So you should be eating a healthy diet and then supplementing. I'll give you a good example. There's a supplement called arginine. Arginine is an excellent, what they call nitric oxide booster. So it opens up your blood vessels and allows your body to get the oxygen and nitrogen to your brain. But arginine is found in beets. And a lot of people don't like beets, right? So that's the main source of arginine is beets, right? So most people are not getting enough arginine in their diet. So getting a supplement that has arginine in it to help vasodilate, as they say, is a really good thing. That's also a product that's really good as an alternative to some medications that you might take for high blood pressure, let's say.
Oh, interesting.
And some doctors do supplement that, have their customers come in, their patients come in and supplement their medications with things like that.
Okay, so I want to talk about some more supplements and then entrepreneurship, because you really focus in on local companies as well, or companies that are, you try and represent brands that can be found here in Colorado. So I want to talk about that. We're going to take a quick commercial break. We're going to be right back. Get your questions ready for Jim, because we're giving away a $50 gift certificate to High Octane Nutrition. So get questions. We'll take a quick commercial break and we'll be right back.
Believe it, just like Gigfoot, Zero Lag Gaming does exist. The real myth now? Slow internet made you lose. So step up your game with Elevate Internet today.
At the Real Estate Store, we're a group of real estate professionals who share all forms of property brokering in an innovative way. Our expertise and experience makes us the best choice for buyers and sellers. Our brokers are ready to assist you, either in person or virtually. Come visit us in historic downtown Montrose and experience for yourself the difference of our personal, professional property brokers.
Okay, we're back. I just almost stopped the show here for a second, because our amazing producer here was saying, you know what, I wonder if they have cheese ball supplements. Jim, do you have cheese ball supplements? Can we get those at your store?
You can. There are protein cheese balls.
What?
Yes.
Okay, why you didn't bring those, but that's okay. We will make sure that I try those later. So I want to talk about, you've got a couple of products here that I definitely am interested in. Can you tell us about the honeycomb?
Okay, honey. This is a local company called Honeycombs.
Yes, Honeycombs.
This one is interesting. This is a local company out of, I'm trying to remember the name of the place, but it's just down the road in Delta, basically. They've got a big plant there. They make mostly liquid supplements. They're extremely healthy. This particular one that I brought is called Deer Antler Velvet, and it's something I'd never heard of before.
Antler Velvet, okay.
It is literally the velvet off of a deer's antlers, or an elk's antlers. This is actually elk. And the story behind it is that when prehistoric people would hunt deer or elk, they would take the antlers and put it in, boil it in water to get the bone marrow out of it, and the velvet came off into the water, and when they drank it, they felt better.
Prehistoric as in, I don't know, 10 years ago?
Prehistoric. And
truly prehistoric.
A couple thousand years later, the Chinese came along and they said, oh, this is interesting, let's study this and develop it. So that's where it got started, was in China. But what this does is it helps with recovery from both injuries and sore muscles and things like that. It has a bit of it balances hormone levels. So there's a male version and a female version. Okay. It also gives you a little bit of energy, and it also helps with focus and clarity. Again, it's kind of a nootropic in a sense as well. And
so when you say recovery, that is recovery after a workout. You can tell I work out a lot, right? Or is it recovery after a hospital visit or stay? What type of recovery?
Both, actually. That's one of the things that's unique about Deer Antler Velvet, is it's not just for sore muscles. Okay. It also helps recover from injuries. Now, it's not a pain reliever, so it's not going to stop that, but it can help you recover faster from the sore muscles or the injury. And you can take it in the morning. It's a dropper. You put it under your tongue. You have to get used to the consistency of it, but it doesn't taste too bad.
Okay. So you've tried just about everything in there. Tell us about, I'm always interested in Charlotte's Web. I've heard you talk about that before.
So Charlotte's Web was one of the first CBD companies out there.
Okay.
They're located in Boulder. They got so big now that they're traded on the stock market.
Oh, really?
There's a few CBD companies that have gotten big enough to be traded.
Okay.
And this is one of them. It's called Charlotte's Web because it's named after a little girl named Charlotte Figge. And Charlotte Figge had epilepsy, and she suffered 6 seizures a day.
Oh my gosh.
And so they took hemp and they developed an oil from it, and they started giving this oil to Charlotte, and it didn't stop the seizures entirely, but she was able to live a normal life after that. Now, unfortunately, she died during the pandemic.
Oh gosh.
She was like 13 years old, but it had nothing to do with the CBD. The CBD helped her. It got to be so big that in New Jersey, there were families who wanted, they heard about this and they wanted it for their own kids, but New Jersey didn't allow CBD at the time. So families started coming from New Jersey to Colorado to buy CBD for their kids, and it helped. Now, a little bit about CBD. Our story with CBD is that we had only been open a little while, and customers started coming in asking us if we had CBD. Now, this is a little bit of the entrepreneur part here, okay? So we had like 5 customers come in at various times and say, well, you don't, do you carry CBD? And one of them actually said, well, you should. So I decided to look into it, and I did some research on it, and I found a company, not in Colorado at the time, but I found a company that sold CBD, and they shipped it to us, and we started selling it and advertising it. And we were one of the first stores in Montrose to carry CBD. We weren't the first, but we were one of the first. And so initially there was a lot of interest in CBD. People didn't know anything about it. And one of the things that I did was I started bringing in some local brands, and I took a couple of seminars on CBD, and I did some research and study, and I learned about the product. So that one advantage that we had then and we still have today is that we have more knowledge about it than, you can buy CBD in a lot of places, but like you go to City Market and they've got it sitting out there in front of the pharmacy department, but there's nobody there to tell you anything about it.
So you can answer questions, you can help make sure they're making the right choices because of that knowledge that you have.
And then we expanded. So initially we were getting things like this, which is a tincture. It's a liquid that you put under your tongue. But you can also get capsules. And then you can do vapes. So the fastest way to get CBD into your system is to inhale it. But then you think, well, is that enough? Well, then you have gummies. Okay, gummies are very popular because they taste really good. You can get it's like candy, right? The advantage of CBD is it's basically twofold. It's an anti-inflammatory, so it helps with pain, and it's also a mood enhancer. So it helps you to deal with stress. It helps you to relax. All of our CBD is hemp-based. Okay. We do not sell marijuana or marijuana-based CBD in our store. Which basically
means it has less than X% of...
Less than 0.3% THC.
Okay.
Some of it has no THC. I won't go into that details, but so you're not going to get high from this, okay? In some cases, you might test positive for THC because there's a tiny amount, but if that's a concern, you can buy the ones with no THC in them. But it can still help your mood.
Right.
And then they'll infuse this stuff with things like melatonin, so that if you're having trouble sleeping, you can take CBD with melatonin in it, and it'll help in 2 ways. It helps relax you, and then it knocks you out. It's just sleep all night long. Okay. So there's things like that. And then it really gets expansive.
Oh,
you
gosh.
can buy coffee and tea with CBD.
Oh, I have heard that. You can even get wine and beer with CBD now.
We have, in our store, we have coffee and tea, we have soda, we have water, alkaline water, honey. You can get pre-workouts and protein powders with CBD in it. And why is that good? It's good because CBD is an anti-inflammatory. So if you take protein powder with CBD in it after your workout, it'll help relieve a lot of the sore muscles.
And in your massage area, can't you also get a massage with CBD oil as well? So.
Yes, my wife Virginia is our massage therapist. She's been doing it for like 12 years now. And she does, she's really concerned about pain relief.
Yes.
Okay, so if you ask her, she will do a massage and add CBD oil into it. So you're getting the benefit of the massage plus the CBD gets into your pores, and then it helps to relieve the soreness and pain that you have in your body.
I heard something really interesting before COVID, and I don't know if this is still going on, but that I think it was every Tuesday, Virginia would take her chair down to the Welcome Home Alliance for Vets and do just free chair massages for the vets. Is that true?
That's true, yes.
See, I want to talk about entrepreneurship and giving back, because those are the types of things that you're running a business and, you're trying to sell products and service. But if you don't give back to your community, then it's all for nil, right?
That's right.
So tell us about what were some of your struggles when you first started?
Well, some of them are still continuing actually, but
Really?
But I thought about this a little bit. Most entrepreneurs don't get into it because you think you're going to make a lot of money. At least at our level. Maybe the ones that are, executive whatever. But I think what most of us do is we want to be our own bosses. Okay, so there's a lot that comes with that. So when we first started, we had a lot to learn. We hadn't been in retail before. I did have a business degree that helps, but one of the first things that I did was I went through Region 10. I don't know if you're familiar with Region 10.
Of course.
They offer a lot of great classes as well, a lot of other services. And they had a 10-week course, which is actually going on right now.
Okay.
Where they have presenters come in and talk about a particular subject like cash flow or marketing or things like that. And by the end of it, you have enough information put together to put together a business plan. So like if you wanted to get a loan or something like that. But it helps you focus on the business. So when we first got started, there's things you don't think about. Like, okay, the state and the federal government are going to collect taxes,
really?
Right?
Jim, no.
And you say, well, okay, I understand I got to pay the sales taxes, but you got to figure out what sales taxes to pay, when you're going to pay them, what are the consequences if you don't pay them. And then you find out, oh, there's a use tax. What's a use tax, and why do I have to pay that? And that's you have to pay a tax for things that help you to sell the products. So the shelves that you put the products on, the furniture that you use, the sinks in the smoothie bar, all of that stuff there's a tax that we have to pay once a year on that. Then you have your licenses. You have a sales license, you have a payroll license, you have a license from food, for selling food items, and those have to be renewed every 1 or 2 years, depending on it.
You're already stressing me out, Jim. Seriously, this is before you even get started.
I mean, all these things we didn't know. Then you have to get liability insurance, and then there's lining up your vendors, and then that stuff's all easy compared to figuring out what products to buy at a particular time, and which vendors that we're going to deal with and which vendors we don't want to deal with, and we get calls from vendors almost every day. You know, vendors we haven't done business with that want to do business. So that's another issue is we wear all the hats. You know, we don't have an employee at this time, so we do everything. So, you know,
So there's no department that is just your, they handle our vendors. There's no one you could say, hey, go call so-and-so and send them your, you know, your information. You and Virginia have to do it all.
And so, yeah, so there's the time factor. Like I'm always starting something and then I have to leave it and go off and do something else.
Yeah.
And I may or may not get back to it, you know. So there's a really serious time factor, and you know I understand how to manage time, but in the midst of it all, it's really hard to get it done.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you this. So we are in year 5. If you had to do it all over again, would you do it?
Yeah, I would. I would do some things a little different.
You know, hindsight being 20/20, you know, I think we all would.
Yeah.
Well, all I know is that in Montrose, Colorado, we are thrilled that you and Virginia decided to purchase High Octane and to turn it into what it is now 5 years later. So with the products and services that you offer, it sounds like it not only is bringing people here to shop in our great little city, but they get to experience things such as massages or have a smoothie with their kids, you know, whatever those things are. But I cannot believe, Jim, 30 minutes has gone by like that, hasn't it?
Yes.
It has been fun getting to know High Octane Nutrition. Go out to Oxbow. Is it Oxbow Plaza? I can't remember.
No, it's Oxbow Drive.
Oxbow Drive, and they are on the first floor. Go visit them and ask Jim and Virginia all sorts of questions. They love, love, love to just help you decipher what it is you need. Let's make it a great day on March 4th in Montrose, Colorado.